Hey there smartphone fans, what's going on? Welcome to another honest, in-depth review from tech from China you probably never heard of, but you should have. And today I'll be taking a look at the UMIDIGI S2 Pro, an 18:9 high-spec device with decent cameras and facial recognition, and it also happens to have 4G in the US and Canada as well. So here are the basic specs: octa-core 2.5 GHz, Android 7 with 6 GB of RAM and whopping 128 GB of onboard storage, which is also expandable by the way. And you also have this huge 5100 mAh battery. This is a USB Type-C phone and it does not have a headphone jack, but UMIDIGI have actually packed inside a 3.5mm to USB Type-C adapter. And also inside the box is this absolutely lovely case, very soft to feel, perhaps one of the best cases I've ever seen, and definitely the best free case I've ever gotten from a Chinese device. And you can see the phone. Now the phone's back is made out of metal and it's sound blasted, very nice feel to it. It's not a fingerprint magnet like most phones, especially like glass phones. There's dual cameras on the back, a rear fingerprint scanner. This is a deep gorgeous black version of the phone and it's very nice looking. Now let's see where all the action's at. So here is the phone, and on your left side you have both volume and power rockers. On the bottom you have a USB Type-C and two speaker groups, but this is just a single speaker phone. On the right side you have the dual nano SIM tray, which one of them can be used as an SD card slot, and of course on the top you have nothing because this is a phone that doesn't have a headphone jack, as I mentioned. But the audio output to the USB Type-C and to the converter has been absolutely excellent for a budget device, so if you're an audio fan you won't complain. I definitely didn't complain about the call quality. UMIDIGI S2 Pro had great call quality and the phone just feels very comfortable to talk on, especially with that just gorgeous case on it. And about that US and Canada connectivity, there's likely that there isn't a country in the world where the UMIDIGI S2 Pro won't get 4G. Plenty of bands supported, so if you're looking for a phone to import it to make sure if you fully want to work in your country, the UMIDIGI S2 Pro is probably your best bet here. And it also supports voice over LTE or VoLTE, and it also has 5 GHz Wi-Fi. And it also has a very fast and accurate GPS, locking on a signal from inside my house in milliseconds. So excellent for long navigation and GPS, and you definitely make sure you get a good signal wherever you are, even if you're deep on the ground. And now on to those specs, just this device info hardware. If there's anything not true, this program will show it, but everything is correct. 6 GB of RAM, whopping 128 GB of onboard storage, Sony IMX258 back camera, a Samsung front camera, and there's also a small sensor on the back, the second camera, which is for depth of field effect, but it's a very small sensor and I really just think they shouldn't have bothered. It doesn't work like it takes better photos with it or anything. 5000 mAh battery, 5100, and gyroscope, compass sensors, proximity, everything you need on this phone is there. Phone was surprisingly light at 188 grams considering this huge battery and metal build, and it's gorgeous. The phone is looker, probably one of the better looking and better built devices. The build quality is perhaps on par, if not a little bit better than the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X, and the display is a real marvel here. 18:9, very vivid colors, very nice display made by Sharp from Japan. And of course this does have facial recognition or Face ID, and if you're wondering if it sucks, well, it doesn't. Actually the phone used it very well, and I registered it while I was recording this video, so I wasn't in a great position. I never really changed that, and the phone actually unlocked every time, even in like low lighting situations, and if it's not like straight to your face, maybe if you just moved a little bit, the phone will still pick you up and unlock it. So kudos, very nice work with the software optimizations from UMIDIGI for that facial recognition, facial ID, giving you a very premium feature only reserved for high-end smartphones on a low price, and having a huge battery, 18:9 display, and 128 GB of onboard storage. I just can't get enough of this case. This case just amazing, very nice case. I wish they made cases like this for all phones. Just the phone's sides are curved, it just feels so natural to hold in your hand, and the sunlight visibility on the display was far better than I expected from a low price Chinese device. And actually the software was also very well done. Now this is running Nougat, but it's a custom skin and it's very easy to use. First of all, my favorite feature is when you open a folder like you just seen, you can just scroll through all your folders, which makes multitasking so much easier. In general, like this, just scroll between your your folders. Sorry, just got a bit carried away here. And the multitasking menu is kind of like iOS's, which is it's fine for me. There's no problem. You can have double tap on the recent apps to open a few recent switch between the two latest open applications. Multitasking on this phone was very well done. 6 gigs of RAM output to good use, even though they're not really fully utilized like with the Chinese devices, but you can have 15-20 apps open in the background and switch between them without any issues. And even the heavier apps like YouTube, Skype, and some like heavy social feed apps run loaded very well from the memory and run very well. There's a big plus here when it comes to software engineering from the UMIDIGI side, is that when it comes to split screen multitasking here, unlike most Android Nougat devices, you can combine an app that's open with any app you have that supports split screen multitasking from the system. You don't have to have the app already loaded in the memory like with even more expensive phones. So I've only seen this in Flyme OS and in Nubia UI, so very nice work from UMIDIGI providing that feature, which I think should be an Android Nougat, an Android Google supported feature in general. So good multitasking, great software by UMIDIGI. And now check the sound quality from the speakers, because I think it's really decent for a budget phone. And now back to that marvelous display. If you're looking for a great 18.9 to view media for long hours with that huge battery, the UMIDIGI S2 Pro should probably be in your top 3 lists if you're considering buying, especially if you're living in US and Canada and you want to import a Chinese phone, since most of them don't really work there, but this one will. Very nice display by Sharp. And of course, when it comes to benchmarks, the UMIDIGI S2 Pro, because of the high resolution, doesn't actually do all that bad. This is the new Antutu 7, by the way, which has all new game engines, and it's just getting ready the Android system for high quality AAA games. You can see the thing that is tested here, just the graphics are incredible, and we're about to get very good graphics game this year on Android. On the other benchmarks, I was not surprised to see the storage score. The storage speed is not the fastest, but I'll let them slide because they included 128 GB of it. Battery life, very good, 10-12 hours screen on time on a single charge without any issues, and the whole battery, thanks to the fast charging, takes around 2.5 hours to fully charge. In around 30-40 minutes, you definitely get around 5 hours of screen on time, which is like a regular day's usage. Now onto gaming, I usually test my mid-range phones over $200 with the Lineage 2 Revolution, which is one of the heaviest games on the Android Play Store, and if they can run it playable on normal settings, that means it's a decent gaming phone. And the UMIDIGI S2 Pro, considering this is a higher than Full HD resolution, was actually pretty capable running Lineage 2 Revolutions. So I decided to show Marvel Contest of Champions, my favorite 3D ball from Android, which also has very good graphics, and it also handled that very well with very few minor skipped frames. So the UMIDIGI S2 Pro, especially with that huge battery, is a very good gaming phone, and the thermals were actually pretty decent. The phone didn't get hot or anything after 15-20 minutes of gaming. And now onto the cameras. I'm glad to report that if you have any concerns about the cameras here, don't have. The UMIDIGI S2 Pro has decent cameras. Now, not great, but decent. And the camera app has been done very well, offering so many more features that other Chinese phones don't have, like all the controls you have here, 4K video recording and slow motion and time lapse. The Sony IMX258 sensor on the back takes good photos, HDR shots are taken instantaneously, it has face detection, autofocus, so you can able to shoot moving objects. I was very pleased with the camera experience. Yes, sure, this is not a Samsung S7 or S8 type quality, but in good light and even in not so good light, it will take a very detailed shot with very accurate color reproduction, which for me is very important. The front camera was also very good, but they still have to fix the focus a little bit because of course it didn't focus all that well, but I think they will definitely handle that with a software update very soon. And as you can see, the phone does support 4K video recording, and I'm glad to report there are no focus hunting issues present here like with other Chinese devices. And if you shoot video in Full HD, the video is actually quite stable. They don't advertise that this has some sort of electronic image stabilization, but it definitely has electronic image stabilization. And for me, to include slow motion in this phone is a revelation. No other Chinese device at this price includes slow motion from these lesser known brands. Yes, the slow motion is not incredible, but it's there and you can have it. And as I said, the video quality from the main camera on a good day is as good as any phone you can buy right now. You can see from here the camera focus is much better than it is up close, so I think it's definitely, they perhaps put fixed focus in it, but just didn't check the range very well. I'll try different camera apps to see if I can get around this. So my final thoughts on the UMIDIGI S2 Pro, perhaps an example to other small Chinese brands. This is how you do a very good budget phone. 128 gigs of onboard storage, thank you very much. Great display, thank you very much. Decent cameras, thank you very much. And great battery life with good build quality. This is it, just cover all these basics and at an affordable price at around $250. For me, the UMIDIGI S2 Pro, if you're considering importing a phone from China, should be a no-brainer. Buy this phone, it's absolutely worth every penny you throw at it, especially if you're looking for a media device to play long hours of video, whether it's from YouTube or from the storage. Thank you for watching my UMIDIGI S2 Pro review. You can buy the phone from the link in the description below. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to my channel if you want more honest hands-on reviews on tech from China. Give the video a like if you like it and share it so that your friends can watch it as well. Thank you and peace out.